What's going on, family? Welcome to the Locker Room Rant. I'm your host, John V. With me today is Nick and our special guest down below, Bashar from the 49er Minded podcast. Guys, if you don't know Bashar, I don't know where you've been. Get out from under the rock. Bashar's been around for a minute now. He just rolled over 1,000 subs. Yeah. Congratulations to you, my friend, and the milestone that you've reached. Bashar, brother, lead us off, man. How you been? What's going on? What's new?
I'm doing good. Just surviving. You know, the summer heat's been really, really crazy up here in Northern California. And I appreciate you recognizing the whole 1,000 subscribers thing. That's really, really cool. And it took forever, man. It just dragged on forever. And at one point I was like, oh, whatever. I'll hit it. I'll just wake up one day and I'll hit the number. I'm not going to stress about it anymore. And that's kind of what happened. But it's been a lot of fun. A lot of people have helped me along the way. And when I mean help me, I never did a show by myself. You know, so I don't do shows alone. And when I do go live, I obviously have some. If I don't have John V, I have somebody else. You know, I'm always having some type of co-host or something like that. And those people have helped make the channel what it is. You know, and the viewers and the chatters. And I always shout out the chatters and get them involved every now and then. We do call-in shows and all that. So it's a lot of fun, man. Thankful.
Listen, bro, you've had some killer guests. It's been a long road for you, man. And I mean, since you launched the channel. Every time I've checked in. No, but no, I guess you never did lose it. I guess I thought maybe you took a break from it for a little bit.
I took some breaks. I took a lot of breaks. Yeah.
We took some breaks.
I mean, yeah, we took some. I mean, listen, if you don't take breaks doing this, that's what I was gonna say, bro. You need to take a break because after a while, your brain becomes mashed potatoes, applesauce. But listen, gentlemen, congrats to you, Bash. I'm gonna take a drink to your cheers to you and the 49er Minded podcast, man. Keep growing, brother. The next milestone is 2K. All right, so listen. What do you guys want to get into first? You guys want to talk about camp injuries? Is there anything that you guys want to touch base on before we get into the topics? Anything
I was just gonna say you guys got to hit 1,000 pretty soon, man. It's three of you. I'm just one guy, so the three of you have to grind and put your heads together. Shout out to Tony, by the way. Congratulations to Tony. His wife just gave birth a few days ago or last week?
Yeah, last week. Yep. They welcomed the baby boy into the world, man, and they're busy. They got their hands full.
What's his name? You know his name or?
Louis.
Oh, okay, Louis. Yep. Yeah, awesome, man. Thanks again, Nick.
He tried to come out. He tried to come on tonight, but he basically said, it's either I come on the show and I don't sleep or I get a couple hours here. So we were like, just take the night off.
Kind of miss Tony's. Maybe since he's not here, I was thinking about syncing my soundboard. I think it's a good idea now. Now that reminds me, that makes sense.
No?
Knock it out, bro. And then
I have to kind of talk like Tony. And so it says that the Buffalo Bills have just started. I don't know. It's a really bad impression. I'm trying to be all soft spoken like Tony. I just can't do it. He has this way where he whispers into the mic like those national NPR radio guys or whatever. And yeah, I'm trying to set up my soundboard guys right now, and because I have all these little sound bites set up on it. And when I give you the request link, Don, just accept it, please. Hang on.
Got it.
Yeah, but anyway, in terms of taking breaks, like it's really hard to get content in the off season. We try to be a full service all sports show sometimes, but yeah, we're really football focused too. I mean, and football is kind of our main thing to talk about, and
I got
the off season. It's just hard to come up with content.
But you guys cover. I've seen you guys cover MMA before, NBA, not baseball so much, but
we try to. But I mean,
yeah. And let me know if this works, John V. Hang on.
What's going on, Izzy?
Did that work, John V?
No, I didn't hear anything.
Oh, okay, so you have to on the bottom of the screen, you have to share the screen.
Okay.
But then go back. But then go back to our window where it just says 3.
So just add it to the stream.
Add it to the stream for a second, but now go away from it. Okay, so now let me try this again.
Another one.
Yep.
Did that
Gotcha.
work? And here's another thing for you to celebrate 49er minded the 1K.
It's not just a thought process, but a way of life.
As a 49ers touchdown horn. So yeah, we're good. We got a soundboard going and everything, man. It's gonna be Tony's not here, but I'm gonna try my best to fill his role.
All right.
Without being so quiet.
So let me ask you, Bash. Are you aware do you know who Tim Patrick is from Denver?
Wide receiver, yeah. He was actually a 49er at one point in the preseason, maybe back we're talking 2017, 2018 or something like that. I just didn't remember him, but I definitely know that he was on the Niners.
Yeah. So dude had a lower leg injury. I think he tore his Achilles. I could be wrong, but I know that he's definitely missing the season for the second year in a row, bro. And that's just crazy. Cause I mean, one's got to wonder, where is Tim Patrick's mindset now, with this second year dude struggling with injury? It's terrible, man. My thoughts and prayers go out to Tim Patrick and his family, man, because God can only know, man, how he's doing. I hope that he just rehabs and he gets back at it, man. And maybe the third time's a charm, What's up, Brian? Good to see you, fam.
Bryant Colt.
Tony's in the chat. Says, Bash, you look better in that box, man.
I'm not gonna say that, man. Come on, give yourself more credit, Tony.
I mean, with Patrick, listen, he's actually a pretty good player. I like him. The only thing is, I don't think he's ever going to be a star in this league. And for people who aren't stars, it's kind of hard to come back from those devastating injuries, because if you're like a guy like Tim Patrick's not a guy that has the athleticism to really dominate in this league either. He's a really hard worker, so he's worked his way into this position. For him, it's probably a career-ending injury. I hope not. I hope he works his way back, because I do like him as a player, but it's probably curtains for him.
I mean, if it's curtains for him, then we can get him on the cheap, bring him back to one of our squads. I'd love to give Tim Patrick a chance, man. I mean, sometimes these injuries, sometimes they can be detrimental, which most of the time they are. But other times, maybe Patrick will bounce back from this, Nick. I mean, why write him off so soon?
I'm not writing him off. I'm just saying that's the most probable scenario. Hopefully, maybe he works his ass off. The injury doesn't have any lingering effects after a year of rehab, and maybe he can come back. But that's usually not what happens. That's why I was so baffled by the Odell Beckham type thing, where he had similar circumstances. He had devastating leg injuries pretty much 3 years apart, 2-3 years apart. I mean, I don't know how good Odell Beckham is going to be. The only thing about Odell Beckham, he was uber explosive before, so he can afford to lose a little bit of explosiveness. Tim Patrick's not that type of guy.
Yeah, I mean, remember when Richard Sherman tore his Achilles heel? He slowed down a whole lot, and he's coming off an ACL and an Achilles heel. He's 29. I mean, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but it is what it is.
I was trying to pump some positivity in the universe.
Yeah, he's been pretty productive the past 2 years too. Looking at his stat line right now, over 740 yards each the past few years, or 50 receptions, about 5 touchdowns a season. So pretty productive receiver. What about 6'4", 212? Yep. Yeah, it just sucks though. I feel bad for him. I don't know. I mean, I can't picture him being the same unless he's a wide receiver that focuses more on positioning and bottling people out. Maybe his speed doesn't have to be necessarily up to par.
He helped me win a fantasy league one year.
Oh, he did. Okay, there you go.
I was going to say so.
I have a lot of love for Tim Patrick.
I thought he did, bro. To be honest with you, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I caught him on one of those years where he was catching a touchdown at the end of the season every game, and he would always give me a little boost for a second receiver. So yeah, he did well for me. So get better, Tim Patrick. Wish nothing but the best for you.
And thank you, Tony. Yeah, I did hit 1,000 subs. So you looked a little astounded, surprised. I know. Hey, man. Some of us hit our goals every now and then,
Yep.
Hell yeah. Good for you, bro. That gives us some hope.
Hey, just
All right.
put out more videos, man. That's all I gotta say, man. If you put out more videos, and it's three different guys, all three of you can hustle on Twitter and get the word out, and you got your restaurant, and you can just let the patrons know that are hardcore sports fans. You know,
Nick is about the most useless Twitter manager there is. He does not manage Twitter. He was in charge of Twitter. He didn't do anything with it.
I was like,
he probably doesn't even know that it turned into. He hasn't even known about the transition to X yet. He has no idea.
I know about that. I hate that. That emblem is the dumbest thing ever. That X emblem is the stupidest thing of all time. I like the little Twitter bird.
I honestly, God, I don't even understand why it needed to be changed. It sounds ridiculous to me. I can't stand it. But then again, I can't stand Elon Musk. He's hitting my fucking nerves every chance he gets.
Oh, Twitter's kill. So yesterday, so get this. You're going to love this Twitter story. Or X, whatever the fuck it's called now. So yesterday, I set up a last minute show with this dude named Twin Maker. And I was like, hey, you want to jump on it like 9 o'clock Pacific time? And he's like, yeah, I'm down. Let's do this. And this is about 7 o'clock. So, but hey, you know, within the nick of time, I set up a show last night, and it was so cool because, you know, had a whole bunch of people watching. It was nice. It was a great show. We took Collins, but this is the funny thing about it. So while I'm DMing him, he, you know, at one point I'm like, okay, I'll send you the link and everything here, because he says, yeah, I just said it here. So I set up the StreamYard link so he could join the YouTube stream, and I wanted to send it to him, but my Twitter DMs were restricted. So it was like, oh, you've exceeded the amount of DMs that are permitted for your account status or whatever crap. And in order to DM freely, you shall subscribe to Twitter. And I was like, fuck this. I ain't subscribing to fucking Twitter. I'm like, I'm not buying this shit. So I just waited. So I literally sent him a DM. No, I sent him a DM. I sent him a tweet, and I put this @ symbol. I was like, hey, bro, it won't let me fucking DM you. Give me your email address or something so I can send you the link so we can do the show, you know? But
dude,
yeah.
He's turned the platform into total trash, man. He's literally turned it into a dumpster fire. It's falling apart, man. It's not, the platform's not what it used to be.
It sucks.
But now everybody's jumping on threads. I can't keep up. Like, I got a Discord. Breezy's Discord I'm part of Breezy's Discord. I can't keep up. The notifications go off. I don't know what I'm doing. I click the notification. It takes me somewhere else, bro. I don't know how to use it. I just don't know how to use it. But yeah. Izzy, this was pretty funny. Bash, I don't know if I ever told you this, but Nick established, when Nick set up the Twitter page for the Locker Room Rant, he actually made us a 1-year-old child. So the page got shut down. It was a total shit show. But
they asked for the birthday. So I just put the day we started the show. I just wanted that, like, I thought it was like a timer. I didn't know it was like they were gonna think I was a minor.
Motherfucker, it didn't occur to you that you were setting up a birth date for a 1-year-old? I mean, at the end of the day, the question is not for the page itself. It's for the identity of the person that's hosting the page.
Yeah, I thought it was just, oh, hey, here's when the page started.
There's no words. Anyway, so moving on, guys. Let's talk about Sean Payton and his comments about Nathaniel Hackett. Nick, I'll let you go first. Give me your thoughts on the chippiness on behalf of Sean Payton.
So basically, what happened? I don't know if there was some banter back and forth, but the headlines are basically this. Apparently, Sean Payton basically said, like, Nathaniel Hackett did the worst coaching job of all time for the Denver Broncos last year, and now Hackett's kind of pissed off about it because he's like, he said that Payton broke a lot of codes in saying that statement. I guess meaning you're not supposed to talk about the previous coach's the job that he did. I personally give a shit. Hackett did do a terrible job. Hackett was horrible. I don't think we needed Sean Payton to tell us that. That being said, it kind of makes Sean Payton seem like a jerk. And you know what? Sean Payton's getting paid a lot of money to coach now. So I think he's under a lot of pressure. He's putting a lot of pressure on himself to be a good coach. Because if he falls flat in his face, what does that say about him?
I mean, it says that, stop talking shit. You have to take over a team that was a dumpster fire. Like, you need to do your job. Stop talking about Nathaniel Hackett. Who gives a fuck what Nathaniel Hackett did? Last year is done and gone, bro. And nobody cares what happened last year. And that can be said about a lot of things. And we'll get to that later on in the show. But as far as whatever happened last year, Peyton needs to keep that shit out of his mouth because it's got absolutely nothing to do with what's going on. Like, you are now the head coach of the Broncos, so turn it around, bro. And if you fail at this, it's going to make Nathaniel Hackett look like lesser of a joke that you made him out to be.
Yeah.
So
it puts
Bash, give me your thoughts. Does he have pressure? Sean Payton is relatively known for being probably a Hall of Fame quarterback, Hall of Fame coach.
Yeah, but here's the thing. He also inherited a team with Drew Brees. It was a pretty good team that he had. Granted, they weren't much before he got there, but they all kind of came at the same time, really.
Sean Payton kept the Saints relevant year after year, brother. It's not a testament. Like, the dude is a great coach. But I'm just saying what he did. Okay, that's what it takes.
I mean, that's what it takes. But if he falls flat in his face, this could be okay. Sean Payton might be an okay coach.
He's not going to fall flat on his face. That team is pretty stacked, bro. Let's be honest here. Bash, give us your thoughts, brother.
Thank you. I'll be honest. I'm not that keen on the subject. I mean, it's one of those topics I've been hearing floating around, but I never dove into it to know what Sean Payton actually said. And all I pulled up was he said something to the tune of it was one of the worst coaching jobs in NFL in the history of the NFL. I don't know what else he said beyond that. There is anything worse than that, but
I don't know if
he told that to the national media, I mean, it's not professional. I get it, but he obviously was frustrated though.
Yeah, no, that's essentially it, bro. I think that as a head coach, inheriting this team and how Nathaniel Hackett left it, you essentially might have actually broken a code, right? Like, you should know better. Like, don't shit on him, bro. Nick said it best. We don't need you to tell us that Nathaniel Hackett didn't do a good job.
Yeah,
we knew.
We got Havoc back in the house.
Well, look at this prima donna. What is up, Havoc, my man? Listen, Havoc, I got something funny for you, man. And Vrabel is hilarious. Vrabel said when being interviewed, he said that the pass protection and the pressure from the defense looked like shit through a brass horn. I thought that was hilarious. It made me think, like, I was thinking of Havoc when I saw it. I'm like, what is going on over there? Like, what the fuck is happening in Tennessee right now? Tell me a little bit, bro. What's going on in camp? Is the offensive line doing better with pads? Defensive line doing better with pads? I'm just curious. He's real as fuck, he said. He really is. Like, I love Vrabel, man. Vrabel's an awesome coach, man. But honestly, is there any concern, Havoc, over there in Tennessee regarding the line, O-line, D-line? I'm just curious, bro, because I was really hoping that Tennessee was going to turn around this year.
They boosted their receiving core.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not going to do you any fucking good if you're getting constant pressures on the quarterback. If Tannehill can't set a base to throw the ball, then, I mean, they're going to look like dog shit. Vrabel's obviously not pleased with what he sees. I mean, and it's early in camp.
I mean, I think Tannehill's what Tannehill is. Tannehill's a good run-of-the-mill mid-tier quarterback. Like, he's not anything that's going to win you games, but he ain't going to lose you games either.
I disagree, because there's always been Tannehill was pretty solid in Miami, and he actually hasn't been bad in Tennessee either.
No,
a few injuries
in Tennessee.
A few injuries have set him back a bit, but I mean, outside of that, I've always thought that Tannehill was amongst that, like, he was in that tier 2, tier 3 quarterbacks that, with the right coach and the right system, if he can make all the throws, which I don't doubt that he can't, I think that Tannehill could obviously be an asset to anybody that has a quarterback-friendly system. I've often thought that, who would Tannehill be as a San Francisco 49er, as a Buffalo Bill, as a Cleveland Brown? You could put Tannehill in a lot of offenses.
He was way better in 2014 and 2015, though, compared to what he's done over the past 5 or 6 years, though. He's fallen off a bit, in my opinion. Actually, he had one pretty good year in 2020. He didn't throw for that many yards, but 33 touchdowns and 7 interceptions is pretty remarkable, actually.
Yeah, but they kind of broke down the team a little bit. Yeah, I got to be honest. I didn't think I was wrong on losing AJ Brown. I didn't think it was going to be that big of a deal, but apparently it was.
Oh no, I knew AJ Brown was a huge loss for them.
I did too, bro.
I was pissed that the Eagles got him. I was like, damn, the Eagles got him.
I know, Izzy. I know. I was just I like to wordplay with quarterbacks at times. I like to think that some quarterbacks with certain skill sets can have success in different systems, and sometimes I like to envision it. It's not an assassination on my part, but I would imagine that Tannehill would have success in a lot of different systems.
I think Tannehill would actually be a very good quarterback in the 49ers system.
I think a lot of quarterbacks would succeed in this system. Honest to God, I think they would. It's very friendly. I mean, we're not asking you to do much. You're surrounded by many weapons. Most capable quarterbacks would have success. I don't doubt that.
That's why I always thought it was bullshit when they're like, oh, well, the 49ers have the Super Bowl window and they can't afford to play Trey Lance because he's going to lose games. It's like, dude, it's like we carried the fuck out of Jimmy for so many years.
But
they can carry another quarterback. At least Trey Lance offers the big fucking playability that Jimmy never did. It wasn't going to be that big of a fucking transition. So even if Trey was going to be bad or whatever, I don't know.
I think what Tannehill succeeds at is what the 49ers actually do, what the 49ers want their quarterback to do. Very good on short, intermediate passes. He's pretty mobile. He's a pretty big guy. I think he would fit well in a 49ers uniform. Never going to happen, but I think he would do well.
Smoke weed every day.
I think ultimately this comment from Havoc is just the one that's going to make my brain explode.
We're gonna talk about it. We're just gonna keep it for later. We're gonna let that sizzle on the hot stone for a little bit. But we are gonna talk about that situation.
I don't even know. I can't agree with that. It drives me nuts. But all right. So moving right along, Nick.
Let's talk about the running backs. We were going to talk about it last week, and we actually got into a pretty decent conversation. So we ended up just going through with our conversation. We didn't really talk about the running back. So what do you think about this running back situation? We were watching the Chiefs Kingdom live a week or two ago, and they were talking about it, and I had some opinions on it. Just want to know what you guys thought. These running backs, kid from the Colts, Jonathan Taylor, is probably the most known advocate of this. He wants paid, and he wants paid big time. He thinks that running backs just don't get paid as much as they should. So what are your guys' thoughts?
Like Josh Jacobs, right? As well.
Josh Jacobs is a big one too.
Yeah, he's another one. I think they have the two main ones, right? As far as running backs.
I don't know if Saquon's one of them. Is Saquon one of them?
Saquon, right? Saquon. I don't think he got signed.
Mm-hmm.
Could be. I gotta look Saquon Barkley up. But yeah, I love the running back. Go ahead.
No, Bash, go ahead, brother. I didn't mean to interrupt.
I was just gonna say I love the running back position, and when I grew up watching the NFL, running backs were the shit. They were like the thing. It wasn't this like it was before fantasy football kind of existed, and it's like Barry Sanders was always highlighted as the guy, and at the time Bo Jackson was still playing, so he was a running back, and everybody's talking about Christian Okoye, and it was like this big thing to get hyped up about was running backs. Running backs were first round draft picks back then. That's when you noticed the game changing was when running backs were no longer picked in the first round. Like the first running back that was picked, and most of the recent drafts is usually for like the third round or so, right?
We just had one go pretty high this draft.
Yeah,
Bijan Robinson.
He's really, really good actually.
Yeah.
I would have went crazy if the Niners got him, but Yeah, I mean, they kind of feel disrespected, right? They're gonna have to work something out, and the new collective bargaining agreement, I guess, with the players and all that NFL Players Association, the owners, and hopefully they come to some type of agreement because it's we can't be doing this. I just think it's ridiculous. These guys sacrifice their bodies, and it should not be an underappreciated position because it's the grinded out, old school, dirty, smash mouth football means you run the ball. So you got to have running backs in the league.
Here's my take on it. I have a really, really nuanced view on this. So this league is a copycat league. And ever since Brady and Manning dominated since the early to mid 2000s, this league has gone away from running backs and gone to passing. So that's why you see a lot more receivers get big, super huge contracts nowadays. They never used to. I don't think you can't win in the NFL with a great run game. I think you can. It's one of the things I will give the San Francisco 49ers credit on, and I always do. They buck the trend on everything. And it works. It works. And in a way, it's kind of good to buck the trend because you're spending less money at those positions that cost a lot. Now, granted, you did sign Debo. It's going to be that was a big contract, and you guys probably are going to have a hard time signing Ayuk because he's going to command a lot more money. It's arguable. We can argue whether or not I think he's worth that money, but the 49ers have gotten away with not spending a ton of money. I know Jimmy G's contract was rich at one time, but up to today's value, it's very moderate. But they spend money. They spend money at linebacker, and linebacker is running back of the defense. They're also underappreciated. They spend money at defensive tackle. They spend money. They don't spend money on the high number positions. Cornerback. They are going to spend money at end here soon, but they haven't done so as of yet. So they spend money, and they spend money on running backs too, and they have a good run game, and they win that way. They don't win necessarily by peppering you all over the field, and that's what teams in the NFL want to do nowadays. Teams want to be able to throw all over other teams. I still think you can run the ball down somebody's throat if you build your team that way, but people don't want to. But front offices don't want to build their team that way. They want that high-end quarterback.
All right, so let me ask you, Nick. Let me ask you real quick, Bash. You jump in on this. How many teams do you think that their running game sets up the pass? Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, what teams value the running backs and what teams don't? You have your run-heavy game. You have your run-heavy teams, and then you have guys that you have workhorses. Chicago historically has been known to run their running backs into the ground in less than 5 years. So it's like you got to. Are you saying that? Are you ultimately saying pay these running backs or not?
So I'm saying you should get paid on how much value you bring to your team. I think a running back can bring great value to your team. We have one. Now, here's the thing. Not all running backs are equal. I think there are probably about 5 running backs in the league who are great running backs. Great. Now, here's the thing. You can get away with having average running backs, and average running backs can have great years if they're put in the perfect situation. There are about 5 running backs in the league where they aren't in a good situation. They still do well, or you could put them on any team and they'll do well. There are a lot of running backs, if you take them off their situation, they will not do well. And then you have a guy, I don't have McCaffrey in that 5, but then you have a guy like McCaffrey, who is a separate issue, who does more things. So he's not just a running back. He plays the running back position, but he's more of a space creator. He does essentially the same thing Deebo Samuel does, but they just do it at different positions, but they do the same thing. So So there's guys like that. So those guys deserve to get paid. I think those guys are worth every dollar you pay them.
All right, so one guy is going to set the market for the rest. You understand that? It's not going to, you don't get to pick and choose. Teams are going to value their running backs accordingly, but there's going to be a market. There's going to be a market. One running back is going to set that market. So it's no different than any other position, bro. We don't get to treat this position any different.
Yeah, but they do treat this position different. Like I said, listen, Cordero Patterson is a good example. Cordero Patterson is not a great running back, but he's had pretty good years at Atlanta.
Third down back.
What?
He was the third down goal line back, right?
No, the year before he was their main running back. And then I think he got a little banged up this past year, but still did pretty well while he was in there. Then Algier took over because he was hurt.
Cordell Patterson actually was a wide receiver converted to a running back.
He was a wide receiver.
And he still looks like a wide receiver, yeah.
Yeah. Very tall. He's very unique running back, if you want to. Very tall for a running back. But that's what I'm saying. Like, you can get – that's the difference with running back as opposed to other positions. An adequate one can succeed more than an adequate end can succeed. Like, they could put up an adequate running back put in a good situation. Like, I don't know, Isaiah Pacheco, for example. I don't think Isaiah Pacheco is a great running back, but I think he's adequate. Is there a chance?
One of my favorites, and that dude, I said this from the start of the season last season that Isaiah Pacheco was going to be somebody, and wouldn't you know, that motherfucker contributed to a Super Bowl victory. So don't sell Isaiah Pacheco short, bro. He's going to be a great running back. He's going to be a great running back.
I don't think
he will.
I don't think he's going because I don't think he has the ability.
Why?
I see him as a system guy with just being in offense with Mahomes. I'd have to see him outside of Mahomes. Just Mahomes, his presence just like changes the whole complexity of an offense, in my opinion.
They have
the way a defense attacks, an offense.
They have to put so much emphasis on stopping the pass game with Mahomes that when Pacheco runs, he's never facing an 8-man box. He's never facing an 8-man box. That's why Pacheco did as well as he did as a rookie.
I love saying
why would a team stack the box on Mahomes? Why would they do that? He's not limited.
No, that's what I'm saying.
He's not limited.
They can't. They need to stop him first and foremost. If you don't try to stop him, you're going to lose. They will beat you. And honestly, it's a Fish Whisperer over here brings up a great point. There's another adage about running backs only having like 4 or 5 good years. I don't understand why that's a thing. Like, everyone's talking about like Derrick Henry. This is probably going to be the year he declines. Why can't a running back go into their mid? Running backs used to go in their early to mid 30s all the time and dominate. Why can they not dominate now? Like, I mean, you get stronger as you get older. You may lose a little bit of speed as you get older, but you get
your joints will get banged up over time, though.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, Nick, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, your body breaks down.
John,
I mean, these guys command contact. I mean, literally, the first 4 years, if you're a starting running back in a system, you're commanding contact. You're taking the most contact. What are you talking about? How do you expect these guys to get into their 30s and be relevant?
I'm not saying you're going to play like till you're 40. I'm just saying I don't know why at 28 we look at a running back like he's an old man. Like,
at 23, he was starting his career.
Okay.
At 28, he's on his knees are on their last leg. Maybe
not. Maybe, but maybe not. I don't see anything where Derrick Henry's knees are completely shot. Why
Derrick Henry is probably the one. I don't want to say he's an anomaly because he's not that rare.
An anomaly.
He's just a massive man.
You want to talk about Derrick Henry? Talk about Nick Chubb.
That weight, Nick. No. We're not going to go there. We're not going to go with Nick Chubb because Nick Chubb's a top 5 running back in the league.
Okay, but there are some people that say the Browns. There are some people in the Browns in Brownsdom that think we should move off of Nick Chubb with next year. That we shouldn't sign him to a big contract because he's getting to that age where people say running backs just decline. I think Nick Chubb has 4 or 5 years left in him. I think you play to 32.
It depends solely on the offense. It depends. It depends on the scheme. Like, that's the thing about Stefanski's offense. And I don't want to go there right now, but his offense isn't really that. It's not creative. You know what I mean? It's not running back friendly. The problem with Chubb is that he's had to rely on his talent the entire tenure there. He's had to rely on his talent the entire time. The scheme isn't creative enough for him to thrive. It's just not. Everything he's done is talent alone.
I'm still among the mindset that you could win in this league if you have a great defense and a great run game. And I believe the 49ers are a testament to that.
But they
do it slightly differently.
It's the scheme, dude.
They do it slightly differently. They don't just pound the rock up the middle 30, 40 times a game. But they do concentrate on running the ball, getting in space, being able to run, and having a dominant defense. You don't need a great quarterback to do that. You just need somebody who can function as the quarterback and get the ball where it has to go so they're not overwhelming. They're not putting 8 men in the box.
In my opinion, Nick, I don't understand where you're going with this. Like, you're losing me here. Are you for running backs getting paid more money, or are you just sitting pat at where they are right now?
I am for the great running backs getting paid, and I am for.
Stop saying great. Stop saying great. One great running back is going to set the fucking market.
I said they're about
and
five.
The rest is a domino effect.
I said they're about 5. I said they're about 5 running backs. It's just like every other position, John. You have quarterbacks. You have about 4 or 5 elite quarterbacks. Maybe you could stretch it down to 4, or maybe you can stretch it up to 6. But they're about 6 elite. They're about anywhere from 4 to 6 elite quarterbacks, and then the rest there's a drop off. You don't pay those guys as much. Cornerback, you don't.
Come on, Nick.
There's about 5, 6 guys that are great cornerbacks, and then the rest is a drop off. It's just like any other position.
That's my fucking point. The top 10 players at their position are going to get paid. The running backs that are complaining are not fucking bums.
Yeah.
They are the best at their position right now. We're talking about Saquon, Jonathan Taylor. Yeah. Who else is in that? Was Najee Harris in that shit?
I don't know if Najee was in it.
It doesn't matter. It affects him anyway. Is Derrick Henry a part of this? Josh Jacobs is a part of it. We're talking about top tier running backs that feel that they're undervalued.
What I'm saying is don't undervalue great. I think the great running backs should be paid. I think the reason they're underpaid is because of stupid NFL executives that think they're smart.
Mariah? Good to see you, fam.
What up, Brian?
Listen,
I mean, but what do you do? What do you determine as great? I mean, what's your barometer? I mean, you're measuring stick for what's great.
Who are you, Nick? Who are you choosing to set the market for these running backs? What are you saying?
The barometer is my eyes. You should pay a player what he's worth by looking at what he's worth. Okay. Do you think you can get, if you have a running back and he gets 1,200 yards, do you think as an executive that you got that 1,200 yards because that running back is great? Or do you think that you got that 1,200 yards because your system is friendly to running backs and you can do it with another running back? That's what I'm saying. I don't think executives look at it that way. I think they just think that you don't need great running backs to win, and I think they're stupid for that.
Scott makes a point. Scott says that none of the teams that we mentioned are championship contenders. Listen, it's really not even about whether or not you're a championship contender or not. You can be the workhorse of your organization and still not make the Super Bowl. Fuck, you might not even make the AFC NFC championship game. But the point is if you are breaking your fucking back, carrying this offense and stretching the offense, you need to be compensated for it. These guys aren't bitching because they're bitching because they don't feel that they're fairly compensated. Look at these other positions. Look at what they're deserving, what they feel they're deserving of. You know.
Well, middle linebacker is a position that's also.
Hey, baby.
What about middle linebackers?
Middle linebacker is also undervalued. In NFL too.
Baba Booey.
You guys, like I said, you guys buck the trend.
4 big guys, and they bust on my eyes. They eat my ass just like apple pie. If they 4 big guys,
other teams they don't. Other teams do not pay a guy like Fred Warner that money.
Bash, you're having a good time on that soundboard over there, bro.
Those showed up on
Every single one of them, bro.
I had 2 tabs open.
Listen, I agree with Havoc. You pay your top players, period, bro. You pay them. And I don't care if you're a championship contender or not. You pay your top players.
Mm-hmm.
I'm for running backs getting paid. I'm for it. And I agree. They should hold out. Hold out. Fuck it. Everybody else plays with their fucking their social medias. They scrub that shit. They use their agents for leverage. They put fucking content out there on social media platforms. They're constantly leveraging to get what they want. And you know what fucking happens, Nick? They get what the fuck they want. So these running backs should just fucking hold out. Fuck the bullshit. Don't scrub your socials. That's some weak ass shit. Stop hiding behind your agent.
I don't understand why you say scrubbing the socials is weak ass bullshit.
It's pussy shit. That's pussy shit. I'm sorry. I don't want them to see my Instagram. Oh, that's so lame.
It is. But it is
fucking clown is babysitting that shit, and they're gonna run to social media and be like, "Oh my god, Josh Jacobs scrubbed the Raiders from their social media."
It is single-handedly
watching.
It was single-handedly the most effective tool.
It's not effective, Nick. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. That's not.
There's nothing easier.
It's not.
There's nothing easier that a player can do to get more money than scrubbing his social media.
That's bullshit.
It's nothing.
Scrubbing your social media? What are you talking about?
When has it not worked? When has scrubbing your social media not worked?
Bro, that play has literally just been the tip of the fucking iceberg, bro. There's so much more that they do. They posture, they leverage behind their agents. The fucking socials, bro? Are you honestly going to sit here and tell me that you're going to play that card? Social media scrubbing is fucking bitch shit.
Nick Bosa will be scrubbing his social media here in about a week.
Bullshit. That's bullshit.
Nick Bosa will mark my word. Nick Bosa will be scrubbing his social media. Nick Bosa
doesn't even fucking use social media. I follow him everywhere. He's not doing anything. That's not true. Nick,
he's got a Facebook. I'm friends with him.
You know what? Weak minds think alike. You and all those pussy motherfuckers that scrub their fucking socials you are very much alike. You think that play matters. How many fucking fans of a franchise are there watching social media and who's scrubbing what? I didn't give a fuck, or did I even know if Debo did it or didn't?
Debo did it.
I didn't give a
He did it, but it was so stupid.
It's because it's a fucking ploy that the agent tells you, dude. They instruct these guys on how to fucking walk, talk, and shake their dick. It's the same shit.
Nick Bosa has a Twitter. And be smaller bear.
So do you. What the fuck do you? Do you even know how to use it?
His last tweet was, NFL says they care about player safety, yet They can't put us on natural surface. Hashtag safer fields.
What's the date on that?
It was 12 November 22.
Exactly. So he shows up as often as the fucking what's his name? The guy that comes out to see his fucking his shadow. Punxsutawney Phil. He shows up once a fucking year to post a fucking tweet? Like, come on, Nick. Social scrubbing is bullshit.
To be completely honest, I'm looking at it right now. Oh no, he does have some 49er stuff on there. I was gonna say he might have already done it.
No, listen, Steve-O, you're 100% right. Just because Debo and Kyler did it, it still would have happened.
He has an Instagram.
Nick, stop. Just stop. Social media scrubbing is fucking bitch shit. Nobody is threatened by it. Not a fucking soul. And let me tell you something. The Niners knew that this contract was coming far before it got here. Okay? It's not, to me, posturing, leveraging, scrubbing, that's some bullshit.
Why do you hate scrubbing social media?
Because I think it's a fucking ploy. I think it's so fucking lame.
Obviously.
I think it's lame. Because when one guy does it, two guys do it, three guys do it, so on and so forth, it's fucking lame.
It sends a message
something
to the
else.
team.
It sends no message, bro.
It sends a message.
Just copycatting. That's not. No, it's not.
Well, it's basically tells the team, I'm pissed. You better do something because I will disassociate myself with you. It's a threat.
I'm pissed?
Yeah.
What the fuck does Bosa have to be pissed about?
Well,
what does he have to be pissed about?
He'll be unpissed when he gets his contract.
He's not pissed. He's not worried a bit. Because he knows it's going to get done. It'll get done.
I have heard rumblings. There are people that said that should have been done by now.
I should have won the fucking lottery.
Kyle Shanahan says
week in,
like
week out.
Nick Bosa's
you say these things Nick.
I'm just telling you what Kyle Shanahan said.
All right, Nick. This song's for you.
Shanahan's not saying anything. Oh, he's very familiar.
Kyle Shanahan said in the presser, he's like, I don't like Nick Bosa not being here. He's like, I understand that people are going to do what they want for their own good, but I don't like the fact that Nick Bosa's not here.
Nick Bosa would prefer to be out there with his guys. I'm sure of it.
But he's not now.
But right now,
I'm not saying Nick Bosa's not going to
those guys know what's important. They know that he needs to secure the bag and get his shit together. He's fine. I have no worries that Nick Bosa's not in shape. I know he's prepared. I have no fear of that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? But what I do have a problem with is this bullshit social scrubbing. That means nothing to me. And I'd be surprised if he did it. I don't even know if he even manages his social media platforms. Nick Bosa is not the type of guy that spends his time on social media. He just doesn't. He just doesn't.
He just posted something April 9th.
Yeah, and how do you even know if that's him? That's my point. Like, it's irrelevant. It's irrelevant. So,
let's wrap up. Gang.
Listen, let's wrap up, Nick. I don't even know. Are you high? Like, I feel like you might be high.
I'm just saying he has social media. He has an Instagram and he's got a Twitter. Not very active on them, but he could still do some scrubbing if he wanted to.
My point is this, okay? My point is this. Let's wrap up the running back conversation. My point is, I want these guys to get compensated. And whether they do or whether they don't, we'll find out. We will find out. Okay?
Sure.
It's not brain science. Like, these guys want paid. They're going to do what everybody else wants when they want to get paid. They're going to hold out.
I think it'll all work itself out. I think there's always going to be some executive that's smarter than the rest of them and they will basically make it so running back is more included, and they will run the ball down people's throats, and then the league will see that, and then they'll be like, oh, we got to get good running backs now. It might not happen this year, it might not happen next year.
Nick,
maybe Bijan Robinson's the type of guy. Maybe Bijan Robinson's the guy that does it.
There have always been good running backs. It's a matter of whether or not they feel that they're fairly compensated. That's it. That's all this is about.
There have always been good running backs, John. Back in the day, the running back was considered almost the most important guy on the team. Like Bash was saying, when we were younger, running backs were the dudes. Like you won the Super Bowls with great running backs.
Yes, and I bet you even then they were underpaid. Even then.
No, they weren't underpaid. You got guys like Emmitt Smith and Barry Sanders. Those guys got paid.
Yeah, Barry.
Those guys were not underpaid.
Barry was so well paid that he decided to disappear and vanish.
He had nothing to do with his pay.
How do you know?
Because Barry Sanders.
How do you know that they were underpaid back then?
Barry Sanders has said why he quit. He felt out of love with the game.
Okay.
I think Barry Sanders got paid. I mean, compared to the other players at that time, I don't ever remember him having like a shitty contract or anything like that.
No. Back then, they valued running backs and they paid the running backs accordingly. But now,
so you're saying today these guys are feeling underappreciated and they're not getting compensated.
Sure,
that's what they're saying. So compensate these fucking guys and let's get on with it. Everybody else is getting paid. Why shouldn't they?
Tight ends are in a similar boat too, because some tight ends are dominant and some tight ends are just tight ends, and they get paid less because
you get compensated. You get compensated for what you put on the field. If you're a top 5 tight end, you're going to get compensated as such. These running backs just want to be paid. Pay them. Everyone else is getting fucking paid. Let's wrap it the fuck up. I don't want to talk about it anymore. Pay them.
Okay.
Pay them.
Jesus.
All right.
I like that.
Let's talk about the 49ers quarterback situation.
Yeah,
I got to step up and grab something really quick. Just give me a second, guys. But you go.
Let's talk about something where John settles down a little bit. 49ers quarterback competition.
That's not going to settle me down. It's not going to settle me down. I want to go back to Havoc's comment to where he said that Sam Darnold is better than Trey Lance. Now,
there's an argument to be said.
There can be an argument to be said, but I'm just going to be as real as I possibly can. Okay? Sam Darnold. What's up, JT? Good to see you, family. Who's here that we didn't say hello to? Laney, what's good, fam? I see you over there. It's okay. Don't you worry about a thing. I appreciate you supporting us when you do.
Yeah, Brandon.
Scott's here. Brandon's here. Steve-O jumped in. What's up, Brandon? Steve-O. Good to see you guys. I appreciate you. But I'm just going to sit here and say that if Sam Darnold was as good as most want to believe that he was, he wouldn't be in San Francisco. He wouldn't be here. Now this dude is fighting. He's so good that he's essentially competing for the quarterback 2 or 3 position.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't tell me that he's as good as you think he is, Havoc. He's not that great, bro. He's stringing together a few decent camp days, and that's an entirely different point.
Havoc never said that he was great.
No, he said that he was better than Trey Lance.
Yes.
He ain't Trey Lance.
Yes, I don't agree.
That's what Havoc said.
I don't agree.
At this point in time, it's not hard to be better than Trey Lance.
JT will tell you.
Here we go with the bullshit.
This is a Carolina fan right here. He is telling you straight up.
There you go. Ta-da.
That you can't trust him. This is the only man that I need to listen to right here. JT Campbell.
Yeah, but I don't think you need to trust Sam Darnold. I don't think Sam Darnold's the future quarterback for the 49ers.
I'm telling you that I don't believe that Trey Lance is worse than Sam Darnold.
He's
I
not.
believe that Trey Lance is better than Sam Darnold. The only thing that's got Sam is that he's had over 50 some starts in the league.
Sure, more experience.
Okay, I fucking paid for that shit. I wish that Trey Lance had opportunities.
Now,
he wouldn't be on the other side of this fucking argument.
Now, the thing about Sam Darnold is he's not horrible. He's not horrible. He's never really been horrible. He's just always been really underwhelming. But he's been underwhelming on terrible teams, too. Like, he hasn't been on a good team either. So, can Sam Darnold be a guy that steadies a ship on an okay team? Yeah, possibly. I don't know for sure. I wouldn't trust him as my number one quarterback. I wouldn't want him as my number one quarterback. But can he be a high-end backup, low-end starter? Sure, I think that's what he is. I think we know that by now.
Bash, find the camp scores of the quarterbacks since our 49ers.
I hate that shit.
It's awful. It's awful.
I hate that. This guy threw for that many. I mean, for how many days? I think I can only find today's if I'm not. Okay, here we go. Well, this one makes a whole lot of sense because they've only had 2 padded practices where they're wearing pads, obviously, and throughout those 2 days, Purdy has been 18 for 26. He's been sacked 5 times, 1 interception, 1 fumble, 3 dropped INTs. Trey Lance has been 13 for 16, 2 sacks. Let's only talk about the bad plays. It's kind of funny. Sam Darnold 8 for 14, 3 sacks, 2 dropped interceptions. So let me see if I can pull up the real stats. When I will, I'll put up my hand for you. I'll let you know. I'll give you a cue. Okay. Yeah. I mean, but I'm sorry, man. Everybody I've talked to, there's about 5 or 6 people I know that have been attending these training camps, and not one person told me they thought Darnold looked better than Lance. And the consensus is that Lance looks really, really improved, and all those mechanics that he changed, it stuck with him. It's not like he's going back to his old ways or anything like that. His release looks a whole lot quicker too.
Everything I've been hearing, I've been watching a lot of 49er stuff. I've been watching Haberman and Middlecoff. I've been watching David Lombardi. I've been watching Kruger.
You're watching the 2 worst ones, dude. Lombardi's like me. Lombardi is like a Lance hater, dude.
Well, no.
Well, Bash, to be honest, Nick honestly knows who's pushing what narrative. He'll admit that much. He knows who it is that's pushing what.
I don't know who's pushing a narrative.
We just talked about it last night.
Lately.
I mean, we talked about it last night. That doesn't mean I'm taking what you say as a gospel. I mean, I've never heard Haberman and Middlecoff say bad things about Lance.
Middlecoff tweeted some bullshit. Middlecoff tweeted some bullshit just the other day saying, "Oh, what the hell are you 49er fans complaining about a quarterback who can't even hit a wheel route?" And then multiple guys on Twitter.
That's always been the problem with Lance. He's always been terrible.
He's hit wheel routes before. There's videos and clips of him hitting wheel routes.
I mean, I'm sure he can hit a wheel route. Can he hit it with any regularity? Like
now he can. I'm pretty sure he can now.
Well, here's the thing. He's always had problems with the short and intermediate passes. And that's been his criticism this camp. Is that
not this camp? He's hitting his short passes.
I've heard that
one fucking day. There were two gimme passes.
Last week.
That's what they do. That wasn't the whole night. It was one practice. It was Friday where he had 2 gimme throws and he messed up on.
No, he had a good day on Friday.
He's been hitting his fucking intermediate and short passes. That's been all the talk at camp. I don't know what guys you're listening to.
He had a good day on Friday, right? That was his good day, wasn't it?
On one of those days, I'll put it this way. On one of those days, he missed Debo on supposedly gimme throw. He stayed. A lot of people don't know this. He stayed after practice to work on that same throw 10 times in a row to make sure he fucking got it, dude.
Listen,
nobody works harder than this guy, man. Doubt him and talk shit about Trey Lance all you fucking want, man. I'm gonna get the last laugh with Trey Lance, and then not on the Niners. He'll be a beast on some other fucking team because Kyle Shanahan can be a fucking idiot and then disregard Trey Lance and trade him. He'll be a beast somewhere else then.
I don't dislike the kid. I think he's probably a fine kid, and I have no reason to think he's not a hard worker. But there are a lot of hard workers in the league.
You're a Browns fan stepping into a 49ers community, and you're listening to podcasters and certain fucking mouths that are pushing a headline, a narrative a narrative that's good for their engagement and their fucking clicks. They love it. They will sit here. I told you yesterday, and I'm going to tell you again today. Listen to every motherfucker that reports. Literally, listen to everybody. You're going to see a disconnect between those that want to say that Purdy is the fucking golden boy, and then you're going to see the other guys that are saying that Darnold is having a better day than Trey Lance. But the next guy, and to name a guy that I trust significantly, is Jesse Naylor. I trust Jesse. His feet are on the ground. He's there. He reports it as he fucking sees it. And then I listen to fucking Lombardi and fucking Kruger, and they're sucking Purdy's dick from another fuking state. You understand that?
Daddy, chill.
It's bullshit.
Here's the thing. I don't think.
Nick.
I haven't heard those guys.
Let me fucking finish.
Though.
Yes, you do.
I haven't heard them.
They criticize,
and I haven't heard them on.
Their criticism comes in their failures to report the fucking facts. That's where they fail. That's where the criticism is. The criticism is right there in the fucking pudding. These motherfuckers are pushing a narrative. They want all the engagement. That's what they get, and they succeed in that. It's very fucking simple. Don't you sit there and tell me that Lance struggles with intermediate and short. Okay, we're talking about a camp that lasts 2 fucking weeks. And we're the only fucking camp in 32 fucking organizations that are keeping fucking score on 4 fucking quarterbacks. Do you understand that? Do you understand how monotonous and annoying that is for us to sit here and listen to a fucking scoreboard? All these other teams are homing in on all of their prospects, all the other fucking players on the team. But no, San Francisco is the fucking talk of the town on quarterback controversy. We have so many goddamn talented players on this team, and they get nothing. They get barely recognized because of this fucking quarterback carousel that we have to listen to. It's bullshit. You understand?
Listen, I get it. Listen, I don't think these guys are criticizing anyone. I think they even say like all incompletions, you can't judge them all as equal because somebody can drop a pass. You can throw a pass away.
It's practice.
It's practice, yes.
Y'all talk about practice.
But here's the thing.
We're sitting here dissecting these kids based off of their performance in practice, bro. Do you understand how fucking terrible that is? It's bullshit.
Yes.
Do you honestly believe that Trey Lance is competing for quarterback 1? Do you honestly believe that?
No.
But that's what Shanahan wants us to believe, that everybody is competing here. We fucking retarded. We get it. We get it.
What's going on, big dog? No, it's just like I said, I think the focus on training camp is ridiculous too, because first of all, training camp is not a predictor of how the real game's going to go. It's not like quarterbacks try stuff in training camp that they normally wouldn't try in the actual game.
That's not true. You're fucking executing a play, Nick. Stop. You're not out there fucking showing off, being cute. You're following a fucking playbook. You are not playing cute.
But you want to see.
No, you're not showing off. You're not trying shit. You're doing what the coach says. It's such bullshit, dude. Don't sit here and tell me that you're going to practice and you're trying shit. Nobody's trying shit. You're trying.
A lot of quarterbacks in history have done that.
You shut the fuck up.
A lot of quarterbacks will tell you in training camp they make throws that they wouldn't normally throw in the actual games. It's kind of ridiculous to keep a scoreboard on every single pass a quarterback throws.
JT, I rescind that remark, regardless of whether you're kidding or not. That one slipped. I'm going to have to fix that. I rescind that remark. I take full responsibility for it. That is not me. I do not like that remark. That one slipped. I will take full responsibility for it. But this motherfucker over here talking about guys are going to camp trying shit. What the fuck do you think they're, what are they, spinning the football in their dick? Are you kidding me? Like, what are you talking about, dude?
Yeah,
you are trying to execute a plan. The game plan, the play. You are trying to hit said receiver. You're not out there playing around, dude. I don't know how the fuck Cleveland plays out their camp. I don't know if they go out there trying shit.
It's not a Cleveland
San Francisco, a play is called, and you're responsible for executing that. Point blank fucking period.
It's not a Cleveland thing, but every once in a while you will throw the ball that you wouldn't throw normally to see if your guy can make the play.
Okay, then say that. Don't tell me he's out there trying shit.
That's what I did say, trying shit.
No.
Maybe if there's a good chemistry, that play will be tried. That quarterback will throw that pass in the actual game. But you got to figure that out during training camp. And sometimes you're going to have an incomplete. And sometimes you're going to have an interception.
Okay, so should those incompletions count against you if you're competing for quarterback 1 or quarterback 2? Are those said misses supposed to be the gospel truth on whether or not you're capable of being quarterback 1 or 2? Come on, Nick. I think there's bullshit.
I think there's one real competition in 49ers quarterback land, and that is
I know which one it is. It's who can bury their face deeper in fucking Brock's lap. That's the
I thought you were gonna say Kyle's lap.
No,
it's the only competition.
It's gonna be who's number 2. It's gonna be who's number 2. Is it gonna be Darnold or is it gonna be Trey?
I'm telling you right now, Brock Purdy does not look like the Brock Purdy that was balling in the games last year. I know it's early, but Grant Cohn was recently reporting he was shitting on the fact that he can't fucking complete a deep pass, or he can't throw the deep ball properly at all in all of camp so far. And he doesn't look like the guy that's balling though. They're just putting him there because, hey, you won 8 games. Hallelujah, you're coordinated as the king of the 49ers. But I'm going to be surprised if he bounces back and becomes the guy he was last year. He's got a fucked up surgery and a fucked up serious injury on his shoulder. That UCL surgery and injury or whatever is no joke. And they're going to act like he's just going to be the same fucking guy. And they don't want to fucking challenge him. Well, if we start fucking losing games because you're putting him out there like, oh yeah, he won 8 games, and the same magic isn't fucking there anymore. Sorry, put fucking Trey Lance. Trey Lance has been balling this whole fucking offseason, been fucking working with Jeff Christensen's the fucking quarterback coach Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is praising Trey Lance. Oh no. Patrick Mahomes is just saying that because he's fucking lying. Jeff Christensen is fucking praising Trey Lance. Oh no. He's just saying that because he's fucking lying. Oh, regardless of who fucking praises Trey Lance, it's always a fucking lie. So everybody, the whole world's just fucking lying about this guy. He can never fucking reach. He can never reach his fucking ceiling. He's just gonna be shit. Oh no, he doesn't process information the same way Brock Purdy does. Brock Purdy processes information. So you're basically saying the white guy's smarter than the black guy. It's some fucking horseshit bullshit.
No,
dude, Trey Lance is fucking developed right the fuck now. He's fucking ready. He changed his mechanics. He changed his footwork.
You're not paying attention.
It's not.
You are paying attention, Nick. You're gonna find out the hard way.
It's not.
Right now, they're fucking Brock Purdy the fucking job. He hasn't even proven he's the same guy yet, and he may not prove it the rest of the fucking season. But that's the 49ers' fault for having all the fucking faith in the fucking last pick of the fucking draft, who just fucked up his whole fucking shoulder or elbow, whatever the fuck.
Brock Purdy won every game he started, and he started a bunch of them.
But now he doesn't have the same throwing arm, and he already had a week for a throwing arm. His throwing arm was shit. He couldn't throw deep anyways. Now it's going to be fucking worse.
I will give you the fact that there's a chance that Brock Purdy is not ready to start the year. There's a chance that happens. I don't know if that's what's going to be the case, but there's a chance that happens. That being said, when Brock Purdy is healthy, Brock Purdy is the quarterback for the 49ers. I am 99.9% certain of that. And the only reason I'm is because I can't be 100% certain on anything.
Okay, so let me ask you a question real quick. Do you believe that what you did last season, because you know what's crazy? It's no matter what, I don't know how to word this. Usually what you did last year doesn't matter moving forward. Last year was last year. Right now is right now, right? So
okay.
Why are we listen, Brock Purdy executed what he was told to do in a headset. You understand that?
They won.
He won because the team was fucking loaded with talent. CMC
again,
specifically.
They are this year. It's no different.
Okay.
You might argue they're even better this year.
So if I said to you, Nick, Trey Lance has protected the football in camp.
Okay.
And Brock Purdy and Sam Darnold and Brandon Allen have not done such a great job protecting the football. There have been fumbles, there have been some interceptions, there have been some inaccurate throws. Yet Brock Purdy is still going to be quarterback one moving forward because of what he did last year.
Yes.
That shit last year is only going to take you so far. You understand that?
Yes.
And make no mistake, just because I want Trey Lance to get a fair shot at competing, because he lost his fucking job to the third string quarterback because he got injured, right? Sure. Jimmy got injured. So now it's Brock's turn. Brock did his job as quarterback 3. He did it well.
No,
now,
he didn't.
He
took over the starting job.
I mean, there's nobody else to fucking compete. So, yes, he was quarterback 1.
No. He took the starting job. He was no longer quarterback 3 about 4 or 5 weeks in. He had inherited that job. He was the quarterback for the 49ers. He was going to be the quarterback for the 49ers going into the season, regardless, because of what he did last season.
But you can't tell me that Brock Purdy is the same guy after the UCL injury. You can't tell me that.
I can't.
Okay, and so Bash and I are trying to tell you what's been reported. That Brock Purdy is strung together. He's stacked good days, but he's also had some down days.
But I've heard.
But you know what's crazy? Hold on. Shut the fuck up for a second.
Okay.
Trey Lance has strung together and stacked good days. What does it fucking matter? None of that matters because it's not gonna matter because whatever Trey does is not gonna matter towards the starting position. No matter how well he does in camp, it's not going to matter because it's not going to be valued towards the quarterback 1 position. Because Brock Purdy put together 7 or 8 games last season and he got us into the playoffs. We got to the NFC Championship game, but it wasn't solely on Brock Purdy. No fucking different than it was Jimmy G. You see, because you don't understand, dude. These quarterbacks are not carrying the team on their back. So you cannot say that he is carrying the fucking team. He's not. He's executing dink and fucking dunk. Do you understand that
something
that is for
Trey Lance has not proven he can do? Listen,
he hasn't had a chance.
Yes, he has. He had multiple chances.
When?
He has never taken the job.
He's been injured.
No, he hasn't always been injured, John.
He's always been injured.
I told you this time and time again.
He's always been injured.
He had a chance in the Seattle game, year 1. Couldn't take the job. He had a chance in the Arizona game. Couldn't take the job. He had
Arizona.
Oh
my God!
Won the game, but didn't do enough.
Did you see the play calling in the Arizona game?
Are you talking
about? They used him as a fucking running back, and we never punted. We didn't punt the ball one time in the Arizona game. We punt the ball like a normal team. We win that fucking game.
He got handed the job.
Did we not have a kicker that game?
He got handed.
We didn't punt the ball in the Texans in that Arizona game. We fucking win it if we punt like a normal fucking team.
He got handed the job.
No. You know what, Bash?
Couldn't be
Nick is going to watch those games
in that draft with a worse team.
Yeah, man, make Nick watch those fucking horribly coached games.
And in the Seattle game when he got hurt. Granted,
no. Talk about the Houston game.
No, the Seattle game when he got
He's
hurt.
not going to talk about the Houston game. You know what? He's not going to talk about the Houston game because the Houston game was a win that we needed. But he's not going to give him that.
That was a playoff. That was technically a playoff win.
But that was the horrible team, and he barely won that game.
Yeah. But the horrible team that you're talking about has a defense that gave Justin Herbert fits the fucking week before.
Okay,
remember that?
Teams play decent, but
Tony, I crucified Jimmy G for more than his injuries. Jimmy was always injured. Lance hasn't got a free pass. He's far from a free pass. He broke his ankle off week 2, and he lost the quarterback 1 position to Jimmy. Then Jimmy got fucking hurt, broke his foot. Then Brock Purdy took over. But the point is that Brock Purdy also got hurt. So I don't understand, like
Brock Purdy got hurt after.
Hey Nick, you have a fan. You have a fan.
But Trey hasn't got an opportunity to get his job back. He's competing for quarterback 2 or 3. You understand? Like he hasn't had a why not? What if Shanahan decides that Sam Darnold beats out Trey Lance for quarterback 2?
Okay, then he's getting 3. He's not competing with Brandon Allen for 3 and the losers 4.
You're not understanding. You're not understanding.
I have a Twitter poll.
You're not listening. Because I want to read the results to those fucking cunts that you think are reporting everything as true as it is without any fucking narrative. Those motherfuckers are pushing a narrative. And you know what's crazy? You know what's crazy about it all, Nick? Shut up. Don't talk. You know what's crazy? I enjoy most of their takes on everything else, not quarterback related. But those motherfuckers are so hell-bent on pushing the Trey Lance is not capable narrative that it's sickening.
We will ultimately see this in the preseason games. All right. And even then, if Lance has a good preseason, he's probably still not the starting quarterback of the 49ers. But
yeah, why not? What?
But
if Trey has the best.
If Purdy shows he's not the guy anymore after the injury.
But listen, if Purdy's capable of playing, they're going to play Purdy. If Purdy's not capable of playing, he's not 100%, they may play one of the two, Sam Darnold or Trey Lance. But we will ultimately find out if Trey Lance is any damn good. And it's not even really because preseason's preseason. There's been players that have had good
it matters. This particular preseason in San Francisco matters. It matters a lot. But it matters because fucking Shanahan said that the preseason was going to matter. What's up, Big Doug? When did Big Doug get in here?
Big Doug's been
in here.
I said hi to Big Doug.
What's up, Big Doug?
20 minutes ago.
This preseason matters. It matters.
I don't listen to what Kyle Shanahan says, just like I don't listen to what any coach says.
Then don't come on here and fucking talk like you know.
I do know.
You don't.
I do know.
Listening to that fucking cocksuck Lombardi is not knowing shit.
Lombardi seems like a pretty decent, solid dude.
No, oh my gosh.
Nice guy. He's a nice guy.
Lombardi has a personality of a brick wall. Let's be real. He's not even funny. He's not even a nice guy, dude. Hey, so hold up. So I got this Twitter poll that I put together yesterday. It says, if Brock Purdy were to go down in a game, who do you want taking snaps from under center? And I put hashtag 49ers. So I had 213 votes, and here are the final results. By a landslide, and I could, if you want me to share my screen, I can fucking share my screen. By a landslide, Trey Lance 80.8%. Sam Darnold 19.2%. Case fucking closed. I have 213 votes. That's a pretty big sample size.
Yeah, but you're surrounded by like-minded people, Bashar. They agree with you. They're preconditioned to agree with you.
Why though? I just put hashtag 49.
Has Sam Darnold given any 49er fan? What has Sam Darnold done to buy my trust in him? What?
He doesn't. He's not trying to buy your trust in him.
Shit.
He's not trying to buy your trust in him.
Fucking Johnny.
Like
doesn't Sam Darnold look like a fucking Lego? His face has that Lego Legoland look or whatever.
He looks like a lot of things, Bash, but one thing he doesn't look like to me is a San Francisco fucking 49er, and I don't want him to be. I don't want him to be.
Sam,
I would much rather go, if I had to choose, if you're telling me that Purdy is the fucking guy, then Purdy, Lance, Allen. Get that motherfucker Donald out of San Francisco.
I mean, they
don't want him here.
Donald in for a reason. They brought Donald in because they were afraid Purdy wouldn't be ready, and they're not comfortable with Trey.
Exactly. Forgot about Trey.
You can't say that you're not comfortable with Trey Lance if you haven't given the kid an opportunity to stack games. You just haven't. Now, I will tell you this right now, Nick, and I'm only going to say it one time. So just listen very carefully.
All right.
When Trey Lance played that Houston game, and I encourage you, if you want to have a comment, watch the games.
John, I've watched that game 4 times.
Okay. So then
Damn.
So then after halftime, Trey Lance was a different player.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't. John, he was better than he was the first half, but it wasn't like all of a sudden you had the second coming of Joe Montana. But
I mean, what do you want me to fucking say?
The second half
Hold on a minute. What do you want me to say?
Okay.
He wasn't shitty, but
he was shitty the first half. He was dog shit the first half. He was adequate the second half.
Adequate.
Won.
Against a horrible team.
Yeah. He played a strong defense that game.
Look,
Justin Herbert looked like shit the week before.
Let me tell you something, dude. It's very easy if you're not a Niner fan to sit here and say that Trey Lance isn't the guy. But you know as much as everybody else. Like, you can't sit here and you can't tell me that Trey Lance is not capable of winning football games if nobody knows it. Nobody's seen it. Who the fuck are you? Go get your magic ball, bro. Go get it.
I'm going to tell you this, and this is not coming from somebody who dislikes Trey who likes Trey. This is just how I see things, okay? I don't see the 49ers picking up Trey's 5th-year contract. I see Purdy as the cemented starter. I see a very small avenue, very, very, very small avenue for Trey to get playing time. First of all, he has to win the backup job. That's number one. If he doesn't win the backup job, it's curtains. Done. It's over. Second of all,
you just love saying that, don't you, Nick?
Brock has to get hurt.
That's a new
Brock
one.
Has to get hurt.
Curtains, that's a new one. Put that in quotes. Yeah. Nick loves the word curtains. He loves
meat curtains.
Curtains. Brock has to get hurt.
Tony, I'm not giving up on Trey Lance. I'm never going to give up on Trey Lance. I'm never going to give up on him.
Brock has to get hurt. Brock has to get hurt because without Brock getting hurt, Brock's going to play.
Nick,
so Brock
what if he stinks it up, though? What if he stinks it up? He's not hurt, and what if he stinks it up? Trey can't play?
Here's the thing. Here's what I will say. Even if Brock is bad, he's probably still going to win games because the rest of your team's so damn good. Okay? So unless Brock is absolutely horrible, which I don't think he's going to be, and unless he gets injured, Trey Lance would have to come in and not only play well, he would have to dominate. He would have to make it so the 49ers
everything with Lance has to be perfection. I noticed that. He has to be perfect.
They're not going to pick up his 5th-year contract, the 5th-year option. They won't do it. They're not going to give him $20 million just to be the 3rd-string quarterback just because people like him.
No, Havoc. I won't give up on him if he's cut. Havoc, I promise you.
I want Trey Lance to watch videos of you going on rants about him, Nick.
I'm not going to give up on Trey Lance. If he goes somewhere else,
reason to think that he's going to be any good. Maybe he could change that. I don't know. But I've never seen anything that leads me to believe, Trey Lance is going to be something. He's not a great runner.
He got to start 2 games, Nick. He got to start 2 games. Stop with the runner. Nobody said he was drafted for his running.
He played in
mobile enough.
He played in 3 games at separate times.
Stop with that.
And got inherited. He inherited the job didn't have to earn it at all, inherited the job his second year, and still couldn't take it. The second game when he got hurt, granted, that was terrible. I didn't like seeing him get hurt.
How about
He
that
fucking
shit?
got hurt. He got hurt because the guy ran like a fullback.
This guy.
It wasn't like he just played shitty and threw all these pick sixes and made a fucking buffoon out of himself.
Did you see
like
how
he didn't belong in the fucking league.
Once that beautiful man came back at quarterback?
Let me tell you something.
I was at that fucking game.
Let me tell you
something.
something
About that.
It was like a breath of fresh air. It was like a breath of fresh air came down and struck the 49ers.
At this point, Nick is on his troll shit.
Do you deny it?
Nick is not talking. He's not using any. He's not using any. Fuck the players and their fucking opinions.
I mean, that matters.
Fucking coach, shut up.
That
coach. No, you asked me a question. I'm gonna fucking answer it.
Okay.
Any coach that lets his players have influence on his decision making, fuck him. That's weak shit. That's bitch shit.
He didn't let his players have influence on his decision making.
Bullshit.
Shut up. The players didn't think that Trey Lance had what it took to lead the team.
Oh my gosh.
That's why.
What the fuck are you talking about? Based off of what?
That's why Juszczyk was so happy when Garoppolo came back.
The Juszczyk, what does
he was so happy when Garoppolo came back?
Does Juszczyk coach the fucking team, dude?
That's why Kittle was so happy when Jimmy came back.
Oh, he's so happy.
Yeah.
I am so happy. I'm so happy. Jimmy's coming back.
Dude, you know what? You know what's crazy? It's to me, it's crazy to me that you honestly believe that Trey Lance is not a capable quarterback. It's crazy to me.
I don't know if he can be, John, but he has just not shown me anything to say that he will be.
When the fuck has he given? Dude, the chance that he got, he broke his ankle.
But he didn't play that well in the Chicago game. Bad weather, I get it, but he didn't play well. He got outplayed by the guy who got drafted behind him.
Deebo Samuel fumbled at the 15-yard line. That we score on that fucking drive, and Lance played well on that drive. He had plenty of really difficult flow. What's that?
You don't know if you score on that drive.
It wasn't until the fourth quarter where Lance was playing bad, and by that time, you couldn't even see the yard markers on the fucking ground.
Trey Lance didn't throw for
everything was fucking drowned it out. What?
How many fucking games do these guys need?
He played fucking well for 3 fucking quarters. Once the fucking rain hit to fucking maximum degree in the fourth quarter, you couldn't read if it was a 30-yard, 20-yard line. You couldn't see shit on the fucking field even. Then things were bad when the game got out of reach. And how the game get out of reach? Because Talanoa Hufanga had his dick up his fucking ass and let Dante Pettis run for fucking 65 yards all the way down the field with nobody fucking near him. And then the defense committed 12 fucking penalties for fucking 100 yards. But no, it's all Trey Lance's fault.
Who had a better team?
And didn't even have a good running back in the fucking game.
Who had a better team?
Elijah Mitchell got hurt in the fucking first quarter of the fucking game.
I'll give you Elijah Mitchell getting hurt.
He didn't have a good running game. The whole fucking game he did. There was no fucking consistent running game to help him in the shitty way. Jeff Wilson played like garbage that fucking game. Did you watch the game?
Yes.
Jeff Wilson played like shit.
He's only here to talk shit and troll.
So who and George Kittle wasn't even fucking playing.
Who had a better team, the Chicago Bears or the 49ers?
The Niners have a better team, but when you play in those shitty conditions, everything equalizes and it becomes the same shit.
I get it.
It doesn't matter who's more talented here, who's more talented there. In those fucking conditions, it's a wash. Literally, no pun intended.
I can understand that argument.
And that's why the fucking game.
That's why I always say.
Stop, dude. You're just trolling.
You know what a trap game is? It was a fucking trap game.
No, that's why
that's
I
what it was.
Bad weather.
The talent doesn't matter in games like that.
I give John that. John's the one that always said the weather doesn't matter, but I give John the weather.
I don't want to use the weather. I want to talk about the fucking defense giving up over 90 fucking yards of penalties. I don't want to talk about the weather. The weather was fair. Justin Fields played in the fucking weather. Stop with the fucking weather.
Justin Fields is a better quarterback than Trey Lance.
Dude, how many games does it take for a rookie or a guy in Trey Lance's position, his third fucking year or second year? Like, do you want to give the kid at least 5 fucking games before you annihilate his character? But no. Don't stop. Wait, I'm not done. I'm not fucking done. Stop interrupting. Okay. You want to assassinate the kid's character based off of a fucking monsoon and an injury early on in the Seattle game, and you want to draw a narrative that he's not good. You haven't even given the kid a fucking chance to stack games to draw a conclusion. Don't use the Cardinals game. Don't use the fucking Seattle game. Stop. I want Trey Lance to get a fair opportunity to compete, and he's not going to get that.
No, he's not.
It doesn't matter how well he does in camp, and it doesn't matter based on Shanahan. Shanahan said that the preseason games were going to matter. Okay, they're going to matter. So he's evaluating these quarterbacks based off of the preseason and camp. Okay, so that being said, no matter how well Trey Lance does through camp into the preseason, if he is lights out, the best he can do is QB2. Do you think that's fair to a kid that was QB1 last year, that lost his job to injury, doesn't get a fair opportunity to compete for it back?
Yes.
Okay, you're fucked.
No, it's just in history, that's been what happens. You snooze, you lose.
History.
Lou Gehrig, there's literally something called getting Wally pipped.
No. Hold on. Steve-O, what's outlandish? What's outlandish and what's 100% false? Just tell me. Tell me why Trey doesn't get a fair chance to compete for his position. He was once quarterback one. He was deserving of it then, according to Shanahan. So
they were never comfortable with him. That's why they got Jimmy back there.
He thinks he's like the brain of Kyle Shanahan, and you know exactly what he's going to say and think.
Why else would they resign Jimmy Garoppolo?
Because they did him a fucking favor. They didn't want to embarrass him by cutting him and releasing him because they couldn't find a trade partner for how many months they tried to ship him out. They couldn't get a trade partner, and they literally felt bad. Otherwise, they were going to cut him.
Why didn't they cut him?
So, because they got a fucking like a red light special on the guy. They fucking made him drop his pants and they took millions out of his pocket and said, "Fuck you! You're only signing for this little Pee Wee Herman type fucking contract." Rest in peace, Pee Wee Herman. I don't know why I said Pee Wee Herman, but they gave him a cheap fucking deal.
It was a good wordplay. I like it.
All right,
okay, Steve-O says if he balls out, he will start. Bro, respectfully, Steve-O, I just don't believe that.
But look, the silver lining is
I don't believe that regardless of how well Trey does, that he'll get the start. I just don't believe it. Because they are so enamored by what Brock Purdy did last season. Regardless of who Brock Purdy is now after the UCL operation, they're adamant that Brock Purdy's the guy. It's crazy to me.
Here's the thing.
That Trey doesn't get a fair opportunity to compete for QB1. It's fucking crazy to me.
Brock Purdy's not even going to play that much in the offseason. He might start one or two series, and that's it. Okay. They're not going to risk him getting injured more.
Okay.
I'm just saying this. Purdy has to come around and show. Right now, he has to show that he's still the same guy from last year. All that's completely up in the air. So if Trey Lance does ball out, it still could be a possibility.
But not to Kyle Shanahan.
No, to everybody. He's been getting shitted on because he can't hit on any fucking deep passes this whole camp so far.
Kyle Shanahan doesn't give a shit about deep passes, though.
But you need deep passes. You're not going to
5 years without deep passes.
We might get to the NFC Championship game with no fucking deep passes, but we ain't winning no fucking Super Bowl, especially if we're playing the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes. You need a fucking deep ball if you want to win the fucking Super Bowl.
Yeah, history. You're so wound up on history, Nick. You're so wound up on history. Then you would know that history tells us that big throws in big games matter. I mean, Patrick Mahomes, that Wasp play in 2019 destroyed our chances of winning the Super Bowl. He beat us with a big throw.
Okay.
When Jimmy had to make a big throw, he fucked it up.
Okay.
He fucked it up.
Okay.
So you need big throws.
Okay.
Brock Purdy is not throwing he's not known for a big arm. It's not. He's going to dink his dunk. He's going to dink and dunk his way up the field. And when we're coming from behind, you think that dink and dunk offense matters?
That's
in a 2-minute drill? In a 2 fucking minute drill, dink and dunk? You chew up big yards in the 2-minute drill.
That's
you moved the ball.
That's Kyle Shanahan.
I can say that Jimmy actually moved the ball quite well in the 2-minute drill.
Yeah, Jimmy G ran a 2-minute drill better than almost anyone.
Except in 2022 when
who are you comparing to? Better than
2021. I'm sorry.
Jimmy G was amazing at 2-minute drills.
In the beginning, when we first got him,
Jimmy G's always done them. He's amazing.
I don't remember him being that good at him last year.
I don't know if he had any opportunities to, but certainly the year that they went to the NFC Championship, he did. Certainly the year that they went to the Super Bowl, he did. Jimmy G's very effective at 2-minute drills.
We have to run that Jimmy G song for you, dude. I don't have the song right now. I can pull it up though.
The point that I'm trying to make is, Steve-O, I see you, man, and I'm saying I'm not saying
winning a Super Bowl. I'm saying winning a Super Bowl.
No, I'm talking about Steve-O. Steve-O's saying that if Trey Lance just keeps stacking great days in camp and then destroys it in the preseason, that he's saying that I'm saying that there's still a 0 chance of him getting the starting role. And I believe that no matter how well he does, Steve-O, I do believe that no matter how well Trey does, it's still Purdy. Unless for whatever reason, Purdy has a deficiency because of the injury and it's holding him back from doing what essentially he needs to do. But Purdy had a good day today. And Purdy has good days in camp. What upsets me the most is that we are literally keeping score. We're evaluating who deserves what based off of their camp production. And I think that's fucking bullshit.
But how else are you going to judge it, John? If you want to have a camp battle, how do you judge it without taking a look at what they're doing in camp?
Okay, so to be fair, most other teams pretty much have an idea of who their quarterback 2 is going to be. They kind of just know going in.
Maybe not. I don't know.
Let's say they draft a rookie, and that said rookie is competing against said second string quarterback to either if said quarterback is a veteran, he's trying to retain that QB2, or if said rookie is trying to take over that QB2. The point is that team and their beat writers, their media reps aren't making that so widely known throughout the league. Everybody knows right now, Nick, that San Francisco is keeping tabs on 4 quarterbacks. Just like this.
Well, it's a unique scenario, though.
It's not unique.
It's very
destructive.
Unique. It's incredibly unique, actually. The guy leading is the last pick of the draft, coming on his second year, and the 2 guys behind him are both prior third overall picks. So yeah, it's incredibly unique. And if you want to throw the 4th quarterback into that matter, the 4th quarterback has actually played some games and had some decent success in the league. So the 4th quarterback is kind of an issue as well. I mean, he's not gonna have any influence on that, but that is of note.
It's crazy to me that even you, who sometimes thinks outside of the box,
I think outside the box a lot.
Is so fixed that you're fixed on the fact that Trey Lance is exactly where he should be right now. That's how you believe it. You believe that he shouldn't have been QB1 last year. You believe that because your remark is that he was handed the job. So I'm going to ask you,
I think Jimmy
was there.
It wasn't a hand job.
Jimmy Garoppolo should have been the starting quarterback to start the year.
Oh yeah, he should have been the starting.
You should have had. I mean,
they were trying to get rid of him, dude.
I mean, they shouldn't have been trying to get rid of him. They had him under contract for one more year.
Gosh.
There was no reason why you wouldn't get rid of the guy. Why you would get rid of the guy that just took you to the
Jimmy's never going to put them over the hump. That's why
have Trey sit there and learn
down, dragging the team in the mud.
Bash, I told Nick many times that Jimmy didn't want to be here any more than they wanted him here. Jimmy and Shanahan's relationship was destroyed.
Really? Because Jimmy and Shanahan was blowing Jimmy that year.
Oh my god!
I mean,
every press conference. Oh man,
what should he say?
Great that we got Jim.
Oh yeah. So what should Shanahan say at those pressers? Should he, if he believed that Jimmy was holding his playbook back, should he say that?
I don't think that he was holding his playbook back.
He was.
I don't think that he was. I think that he runs his playbook exactly the way it should be ran. I mean, would it be nice if he also threw a deep ball as well? Yes. But I don't think that's the thing that you have to do in Kyle Shanahan's offense. The thing that you have to do in Kyle Shanahan's offense is have precise timing. You have to be able to hit guys on short and intermediate routes, and you have to run the team. Those are basically the things. You can't fiddle around. You're off 1 second, it's picked. You're off here, it's a broken up pass play. You're off this way, the guy's not there. Like, you have to be right on the timing. I think Jim ran Kyle Shanahan's offense adequately. Now, and I think that's why the team responded the way they did when Jimmy came back. And I also think that's why they responded the way they did when Purdy came in, because they said, okay, this guy is the future. He runs things just like Jim.
Okay, well, we know that Jim didn't run shit. Jimmy just did what he was told. You see, that's the difference.
That's what they want.
Shanahan wants someone to execute his playbook the way he wants it done. It's that simple.
Like Trey, you're gonna have times where Trey throws this really awesome ball, and you're gonna be like, "Woohoo! Holy crap, man, that's good." He's got a strong arm. I mean, that's undeniable. But he can't do the nuts and bolts of the job.
Oh, he can't.
I mean, I don't know if he can. I don't know if he has it in him, but he hasn't shown that he could do it yet.
This camp, he's showing it.
I don't think showing it now in camp. I don't think you show it in Camp Bash.
Okay, well, we'll wait till the game starts. He'll show it when the games start too.
Well, I mean, obviously, we're going to see that. We're going to see that. Obviously, that's where we're going to find out. You're not going to find out thrown to people.
Why is it that you expect growth from a player so premature, so early?
So premature. You spent the 3rd overall pick on him.
If you told me
by year 3, I'm expecting a kid to be ready. I get it. You got injured last year, but your mentality should be ready. You got to, at some point in time, you got to be able to play.
I believe that Trey Lance is ready, but unfortunately, they're handing the job to Brock Purdy because of what he did last year, which I'm not going to take away from the kid, regardless of how it sounds. I do respect Purdy for what he did last season, but make no mistake, he did what he was told. Yes. A tailor-made offense. He just executed it the way he was told. You're taking away from Trey
that you almost make sound like a pejorative. That's a compliment that you're giving that almost sounds like a pejorative. Like it's a bad thing.
Nick dropping the big words.
That motherfucker does what he's told. Fuck him. No, that's a good thing.
Nick, in my mind, I believe that Trey Lance deserves an opportunity to compete for his job back. I believe that. But unfortunately, that's not what he's competing for. I believe that to be unfair. Sorry. Not unfair at the opportunities, because yes, he had an opportunity last year and he got hurt. So I'm not making excuses about that, but I believe it's unfair in regards to competing for your spot back.
I would say he has
go back and get it.
4 opportunities and he did not take them. Brock Purdy had an opportunity his rookie year and strong-armed that job to the point where they didn't care about Jimmy. Jimmy was in the rearview mirror. They weren't trying to figure out ways to bring Jimmy back. Now that Purdy came along, Purdy wrestled that job away from everyone. Okay, he just happened to have a UCL injury.
He wrestled it back because he was the only healthy quarterback on the roster.
No, but he wrestled the job away. He became the 49ers' number 1 quarterback even irregardless of injury.
Okay. I mean, it's a fair point, but at
If
the end
Jimmy
of the day, he was
became
still
healthy,
the only
Jimmy wasn't
quarterback.
gonna-
I'm
Like
sorry, but to me, it is. To me, it's a moot point. What you're saying is moot to me.
I'm just saying, Trey had the opportunity to do that to Jimmy his rookie year, didn't do it. Brock had that opportunity, took it. Said, I'm the guy, let's do it. I don't think that's arguable. Like, that notion is not arguable. Brock had the same chances as Trey, if not less chances, because he was a low pick and he wasn't very valued.
Who is Trevor Lawrence today?
Trevor Lawrence?
Who is he today?
Everyone, he's good quarterback for Jacksonville.
Killing it, right?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. How about Justin Fields? How's he doing?
Very good. Everyone's expecting him to have a pretty big year.
What do those two guys have in common?
They were also fairly high picks in the draft. Trevor Lawrence was the highest pick in the draft.
Okay. What do they have in common, though?
They got the start, or is that what you're going at?
I was going to say that they got opportunities and repetitions. Yes.
Yeah, but so Trevor Lawrence got the job immediately. I believe. I'm almost positive he started.
So you're telling me that when Shanahan sprinkled Trey Lance in that Seattle game, when he sprinkled him in the Cardinals game, when he got to play in Houston, and then like, do you see how spread out those opportunities are?
Sprinkle him in the Cardinals game. He started the Cardinals game.
Yeah, he came in relief second half for the Seahawks game, started the Cardinals game, right?
What I'm trying to say is that the kid hasn't had opportunities to stack back-to-back weeks.
Brock Purdy wouldn't have had opportunities to stack back-to-back games if he was shitty, John.
What fucking choices did they have?
If Brock Purdy lost that game against the Rams, if Brock Purdy lost that game that he came in with, they probably would have been looking for another quarterback. They probably would have.
Wait. You mean you're talking about Brock Purdy's first game against the Dolphins?
Against the Dolphins, I'm sorry. If Brock Purdy doesn't,
what's up, Fable? That's what I was thinking too.
What's up?
That's what I was thinking too. It was essentially the injury to the finger.
Ah, Jesus fucking Christ! Yeah. Now the fucking excuses come. He's the one who played. Jimmy's the one who had the hurt finger.
There were always fucking excuses
later in the season.
For your fucking pervert fucking quarterback over there in fucking Cleveland. There are always excuses. You had excuses for fucking days.
There's one excuse.
Crazy
it's a
bitch.
Completely legitimate excuse. We'll see this year.
It's crazy to me. It
is pretty funny though. He did. Deshaun Watson goes to the Browns and all of a sudden starts looking like a Browns quarterback. I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah, we'll see how he looks this year. but
for the record,
Fable, we should ask him. Nick, you ever throw a football with a broken finger?
Listen,
Nico.
Nobody said anything about his broken finger before he started that game. If you don't say anything before the game, I don't give a shit after the game.
What did you want them to do? Did you want them to fly by with a fucking airplane with a fucking big banner behind it? What did you want?
Start the third stringer then.
Dude, you know what's crazy to me is that
if Trey can't play because his finger hurts, then start the third stringer.
You know, Bash.
Bottom line, if Brock Purdy didn't play,
we're never, as a Trey Lance supporter, we are never going to be able to get the message across. No matter who, no matter if you're in the chat, if it's a co-host, no matter what, we are never going to be able to get the message across the way that we think. Because I mean, you are the expert. Like, bro, you already believe that Trey Lance should have been polished and ready when Shanahan and Lynch knew. And this is another thing. They drafted that kid knowing how raw he was.
Nobody expected him to be polished and ready in a rookie year, though.
Dumb move to do that. But here's the thing: if Brock Purdy didn't have the game that he had against Miami,
dumb. They realized that the kid had a higher ceiling, so they thought, you know what, we're going to develop this kid. But you know what? When push came to shove,
it's year 3.
You got that fucking motherfucker Jimmy in the way. He complicated every goddamn thing.
They should have just traded him away the moment they got Lance and just started and turned over a new leaf. You don't just leave him hanging around. It's like a distraction, but Kyle doesn't fucking do things the right way apparently. So,
but what I'm saying is, if Purdy doesn't do what he did in the Miami game, they're on the phone with quarterbacks. They're probably trying to get Phillip Rivers in the mix. But Purdy balled out, so they were like, "Let's roll with it," and they kept rolling, and they kept rolling, and they kept rolling, and they rolled all the way to the NFC Championship game, and then the guy got hurt.
Okay.
Fucking jelly roll.
How many times did Kyle fucking call Brock Purdy to run between the fucking tackles?
That's not. Why would he do that? Why would he do that?
Well, I know. Yeah, I want to know. I want to know. Like, why the fuck do you have a different playbook for every motherfucker that throws the ball? Like,
you said that Kyle Shanahan wants a guy to open up his playbook. Maybe if he has a mobile quarterback, that's opening up his playbook.
What's mobile? What's mobile to you?
I mean, you guys always say Trey's a mobile quarterback.
I don't feel that we didn't. Really. First of all, we said that he was more mobile than Jimmy G. Right? Okay. That was the bar.
Okay. A lot of quarterbacks are more mobile than Jimmy G. Brock Purdy's more mobile than Jimmy G.
But when did I ever tell you that he was as mobile as Kyler Murray or
you guys envision Trey Lance coming Josh Allen?
Sort of, not exactly. I mean, I see him more like Deshaun Watson. I see Trey Lance. I see Lance similar to Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun Watson,
the Texans. Deshaun Watson. That is.
Deshaun Watson's an excellent running quarterback. Excellent.
Okay.
I've seen Watson move. I think Watson moves more similar to. I think Trey Lance moves more similar to Watson than any other quarterback in the league.
Just like Josh Allen is an excellent running quarterback. The only reason Watson doesn't have 800 yards rushing the ball every year is because he's such a damn good passer.
Look, we drafted Trey Lance to be a quarterback. This whole running thing, all that's extra. Like if the pass protection breaks down, then he runs down the field for 10 or 15 yards, fine. But I'm not worried about them trying to fucking set up forced design runs for Lance because I don't want them to do that with him anymore. And this training camp, they haven't been using him like that. They've been using him like a real quarterback. So
I have heard nothing but Kyle Shanahan being this offensive genius. Do you think the guy just turns into JoJo the Idiot Circus Boy once Trey Lance gets in there?
No, he can still be an offensive genius with Trey Lance, and he just doesn't have to run up the gut like Jerome Bettis. That's all.
I just hear everyone making excuses for Trey Lance's shortcomings in the previous starts as Kyle just didn't know what the hell he was doing. He knows what he's doing.
Because the Arizona game. How many times did they punt in the Arizona game? 0, and it was a close game.
Maybe Kyle's just not comfortable in Trey Lance's arm.
He's not comfortable in letting the punt when it's smart football to punt. What do you mean? I mean, it's like
he's just not.
Come on, Kyle made some shitty fucking decisions in some of those games. Dude.
I mean, he's just not comfortable with Trey Lance's arm. At least he wasn't in the previous starts. I don't know what's going to happen this year, but
Trey Lance has the best deep ball throwing arm since Colin Kaepernick has been on the fucking team, and it's possibly a better deep ball throwing arm than Colin Kaepernick.
Sure, he probably is better than Colin Kaepernick because Colin Kaepernick wasn't accurate, but Colin Kaepernick was a better quarterback. He was better at the position.
I'm thinking Lance could even be better. So,
it's crazy. It's you assume that Trey Lance or you assume that Kyle is not confident in Trey Lance's arm.
He's never shown me anything that would say that he is.
The kid broke his fucking ankle in week 2. Do you understand that?
He's played meaningful NFL football in 4 games.
So
it hasn't even been 4 games.
What the fuck was your? Let me ask you. What was your expectation of that?
Honestly,
Nick, what was your expectation for the Seattle game, the second half? What was your expectation? That would have been his first opportunity. What was your expectation? What should that kid have done?
I mean, make some good throws.
Make some good throw. What about the throw to Debo in that game? That wasn't good.
Average.
He doesn't know what throw you're talking about. Yeah. He doesn't know what throw you're talking about.
Actually, where Debo was wide open.
I really don't. I really don't, but I did rewatch that game.
Probably you don't remember the most important play, the touchdown of the game, biggest touchdown of the game.
Probably a month ago, and there weren't any plays that stood out from Trey.
to be what you expected in the Seattle game and what you expected in the Cardinals game. It's almost like you want a young raw talent to just blow up.
John,
shock the fucking world.
So here's
what's going to happen.
So here's the thing.
Nobody had those expectations.
Here's the thing. I'm not trolling at all of what I said. I 100%. But I 100% agree with everything I said. Here's the thing. The Seattle game, he only played like a drive or two. So he couldn't really do much. I'm just saying he didn't do anything. I'm not saying he should have done something. I'm not saying that he should have been awesome for those first two drives and then it'd been a tragedy that he got hurt. I'm just saying he didn't do anything. There wasn't really anything that great. There wasn't anything that said that's one game. That's the game that I give him the most leeway. The weather game against Chicago, I also give him a little bit of leeway over that because bad weather. But there was also another quarterback that game that played in that same weather, and he did better.
Yeah.
Then he had a couple times in his rookie year where he could have taken the job. 3 separate opportunities. The
Thank
Seattle
you for stopping
game,
out. Appreciate
the Arizona game, and the Houston game. And in none of those games did he do anything where the coaching staff or anyone else felt that they should roll with him instead of Jimmy Garoppolo.
I thought they should have made the switch after the Houston game.
You thought they should have made it at
yes, me and a few people were saying that.
Year.
Me and a lot of people were saying that after the fucking Houston game, making
after
the
fucking
Houston
game,
right
I would have.
There is nothing that I saw that would lead me to believe you should play him over Jimmy.
That week prior to that Texans game, Fred Warner, you obviously know who Fred Warner is. Fred Warner said Trey Lance on the scout team is giving the first team defense fits.
Okay.
He told the media
I've heard that left and right.
No.
And Fred Warner also said Brock Purdy. Fred Warner said Brock Purdy's the shit.
Well, you say Brock Purdy's the shit, so you agree.
Yeah,
with
Big Doug, good night, fam. Thanks for stopping out.
I think Brock Purdy's very good, but Fred Warner also said it. I don't think Fred Warner said a bad thing about a quarterback in his entire career.
He doesn't say it about the whole roster. I mean, but you're trying to discredit what Warner said. He's not like he said about Purdy. I don't remember him saying about Jimmy G. I don't remember him saying about anybody else.
I think Fred Warner's just supporting the quarterback.
Okay. Fred Rogers.
I think Fred Warner's just supporting the quarterback.
All right.
Yeah.
How much longer are we gonna go, guys?
That's it.
I know.
We're done. We're done.
Yeah. I've had a lot of fun. It's been awesome, man. It's been. I mean, I had a friend that was watching, and she got scared and said, "I'm gonna read what she texted me. Hang on, can I read this?" She said, "She doesn't. I love it when you yell and get mad, John V. I think it's fucking beautiful entertainment. But she has this thing where she doesn't like hearing yelling and screaming. It gives her a headache. So this is what she told me. She said, I just took some I can't read this without laughing. She said, I just took some ibuprofen because he gave me a huge headache. LOL. Just talking about you, John. Said he's enraged tonight, I guess. Or is he always like this? I wish he made me laugh. I have PSD from all his yelling. OMG. Couldn't handle it. I'm too soft. LOL. Yeah. So he's way too loud. My head was starting to pound.
We haven't had
she stopped watching. But I told her, hey, what's that?
We haven't had Loud John for a while.
This is the loudest I've ever fucking seen you, dude.
First Loud
Tony sits back and watches the rest of the whatever he missed.
It's the worst, dude. This entire quarterback teller. I apologize. The
Did you
entire
have a bad day at work,
controversy. No, I'm off today. It's just
was it the alcohol.
No, it's just the quarterback controversy and Nick's trolling is just
it's not
a detriment to my health.
Is exactly what I believe. I told you this shit yesterday.
I hopped on the fucking stream and I clicked the link to join the stream, and it was right at 6:30, and I was like, oh fuck, I'm late, because these guys were already fucking going at it, bumping heads already. And I thought, oh, I'm fucking late. So I just sat back and I was quiet. And they're like, all right, guys, let's calm the fuck down. We got to start the show. And I literally said, wait, I thought the show already started. They're like, no, this is how we are. We're always like this. I was like, all right, whatever.
That's how you know this isn't fake.
This ain't no WWE scripted shit. No Vincent Mandeville here, buddy.
Let her know, Bash. Let her know that I apologize, man. I never.
Oh yeah, she's watching her baseball game. She's a big Oakland A's fan. So
with that being said, I want to thank everybody that stopped out tonight to support the Locker Room Rant. Big thanks to you, Bash. Thanks for the soundboard. And
oh yeah, my bad if it got at one point in time I was pressing buttons and I thought it was my test soundboard that was open where it doesn't come on the show, and I was hitting the wrong one and I was fucking you guys up. So I apologize.
No, it's all good. It's
maybe
all
by the
good.
time Tony's kid grows up next week, Tony can come on.
So apparently Tony didn't Tony have it where he discovered this soundboard and he didn't want to teach you guys how he does it and he wanted to hide the website from you guys?
I could never figure out what it was, and I never knew what it was, so he never really shared it, and he didn't. I think I asked him for it once before and I didn't get it, so I bought the Stream Deck. That's another project to learn how to use. So that's entirely that's something I got to teach myself how to use. But that being said, I want to end the show tonight, guys. Bash, special thanks, brother. Thanks for filling in, man. You're always welcome on this channel, my brand. 49er minded guys, 49er content 24/7. Check out Bash's channel.
No, not really.
1,000 people can't be wrong.
1,000 people can't be wrong, Bash. So check out Bash, guys. 49er minded. You're going to get great content, awesome guests, some of the best guests in our fan base. Totally sweet. You guys will love the channel. Everybody that rocked out with us tonight, we appreciate you, and we thank you for your continued support. Any final thoughts, guys?
No, that's it.
I appreciate you.
All right.
We're good.
Thank you. Really appreciate it. It's been a lot of fun, man.
We got football, Browns football. 2 days.
Let's see if the real Deshaun Watson emerges.
Yeah,
you guys get the real Deshaun, and you guys could be pretty decent, pretty good.
Cheers, guys.
Hi, you're on the air.